To begin the speech, I want to point out Saturn is gas, and when addressing the military power of these Saturn aliens, we do need to understand that these Saturnite aliens have absolutely no ground to stand on. I want to break this ground down into some voting issues. The key issues which analyze one policy decision and a bad policy decision. First of all, I've labeled the first one out of frying pan and into the fire. This addresses the second and fourth contentions of the opposition. First, that of bad military strategy. We're actually picking the losing side in a war that we know nothing about, but except for the fact that they're losing. The resolution says explicitly that they're actually losing the war, so we're going to pick the losing side and attempt to win the war. Not quite sure why that's a good idea, but apparently the government thinks it is. Contention 4 is that of hostile aliens. Aliens who have expressly shown that they are hostile, and we're going to sign a treaty that we don't even know the details of in order to align ourselves with them. And I want to pause for a second and bring your attention to the word align. The word align. Because we have a few options here. We can, slap them on the behinds and send them into the ocean, or we can, give them the live long and prosper sign, give them everything they want, and align ourselves with them. Or we can take what the opposition is advocating and give them their water, send them off, but not necessarily allied with them. And that's the smart move. Staying neither in the frying nor in the fire. Staying out of intergalactic politics. Never start a land war in Asia. Never start a space war in the Virgo. All right, the second voting issue is, since I couldn't think of anything clever to call it, just do what's morally right. Do what's morally right. So first of all, starting a war that we actually don't know whether we're on the right side or the wrong side of that war, whether we're doing what's just or what's unjust, is not a war we should be entering. Or the third contention is of U.S. imperialism making the choice for the rest of the world, and this is kind of the maxim I want to remind you of the government team. Help those in need, protect our planet, jeopardize them to the forces of a hostile alien world. That sort of idea. But the idea that us as U.S. policymakers would be making this decision for the entire world, that's just that much more weight on your shoulders as judges, passing this policy, choosing to uphold it. You're choosing to make this decision not just for America, who we represent, but for the entire world, and we don't have that right. The third voting issue is essentially that of the policy details. And while I kind of touched on this a minute ago, I want to bring your attention back to it because I do think it's important because it hasn't been addressed by the government team. This is a policy resolution. It has the word should in it, and what that means is we're analyzing a decision, a policy decision. You're making a policy, making an action at the end of this round. Policy has text, or at least details. Since they didn't have time to write up text, that's absolutely reasonable. But what they should be able to give us is some sort of details with regard to the alliance. I'm sorry?
Point of order.
Yes?
Could you read the resolution for me?
The resolution is back there.
Where in the resolution does it say should?
Result align aliens. So I'm sorry, there's no word should in the resolution. It's still a policy resolution, though. It's aligning with the aliens is action. Action is policy. We're committing to a policy when we sign our names to the government side of the resolution. Sorry, and thank you for the clarification. All right. With regard to this third issue of the policy details, though, that's what you have to recall, is you are literally signing your name on a policy that you don't know what it says. And that ties in well to the fourth contention, the idea that you may well be subjecting your lives to a hostile alien force. And the force may be with you, or the force may be against you. And since we don't know, the opposition stands resolved. Do not align with these aliens.